Hey guys, it's Nina Soul with Spiritual Vibes and
Marianne, known as the Little Red Witch.
with Soul Sisters. This is our first video together, you guys. This is our first video together, and so I kind of wanted you guys to get to know, like, you know, how I'm always talking about my goddess sister. This is her. So we're going to be doing another video where she's going to be talking more about the things that she creates, because she also does art, like just like I do. But she has her own stuff that she does. So we're going to be doing an introductory video a little bit later, just showing off some of the things that she's made and telling a little bit more about her work. You got anything you want to say? Anything?
Well, I do a lot of wood burning, but I draw, so I've been drawing since I was young.
She's really good.
And so I draw, and then after I do my drawings, I then wood burn what I draw. And I'll show you all like the wood burning stuff I've done later on. But yeah, whatever you guys like as far as phrases or cute little pictures, signs, names, I can do that. You name it, basically I'll do it. The only thing I won't do is like actual portraits of people, because that is extremely time consuming, especially wood burning, so that I won't do. But everything else I can do, but that will wait for another video.
And she's a hand talker too, so you're gonna see us over here like
yeah.
we create magic when we're doing videos, just to let you know we're putting intention.
I'm Italian. I don't know how to talk without my hands.
Hispanics don't either though. We don't either. We'd be like, it's like the head, the forehead, and the hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're just. Yeah, so anyway, our first topic for today, and we're gonna we're gonna come up with a name for this. Is kind of gonna be like a little witchy talk show where we discuss, you know, certain things that people have questions about. You know, there's you know, certain issues or certain just what we think about certain things. You guys have questions, you guys can ask us, and then we'll do a video and we'll answer your question. And you know, we'll have to come up with a name for that, I guess. Yeah.
It'll come to us.
It'll come to us. It always does. So, so our first question had came from one of our viewers that she wanted to know. Her question was how to break a generation curse or a family curse, and I guess for her situation, what I had gotten from what she had messaged me was that she feels that she is like that her family is having a curse now because, and I'm not gonna say any names, just, you know, for her privacy, but I guess her brother's uncle, which I'm assuming they have two different dads or something, but her brother's uncle had beat her mom up. So she's feeling like now that that it's created like a family curse or a generation curse, that now it's starting to affect her on her successes and on her decision making and things like that. It's you know, it's affected her a lot. I'm not sure if she was there when this all happened, that she had seen it and it created some kind of traumatic experience, or you know, if it just, you know, happened while she wasn't there and then she was told about it. I'm not too sure. So today's video we're going to be talking a little bit about our views and opinions about generation curses and family curses, and you know, just like anybody else's opinions and anybody else's views, you don't have to agree with it, but you know, this is just how we're, you know, how we're describing how we feel about certain things. It's not like for everybody to have to completely agree with us. You know, everybody's entitled to their own opinions. So, you know, just from our experiences and from what we've noticed, what we've realized, and, you know, just giving advice to another person, we're just going to talk about, like I had said, our views and our opinions about what we feel generation curses and family curses are. You want to start off, Marianne?
Sure. Well, this is a good topic for me because I've grown up hearing about family curses that seem to exist on my paternal side of the family that seems to go on for generations back. How it began, I don't know, but this curse seems to be a verbal curse, and I'm always hearing the words spoken as this family is cursed. This family is cursed. You know, we never have any good luck, and if I didn't have bad luck, I'd have no luck. I've always grown up hearing these kind of words. So I also know that as an adult, and I have siblings, these words you grow up hearing, like anything, you grow up hearing and being taught, and what you learn, it sort of becomes a program. And you're gonna take that and either believe in it so much that you carry it on and you carry it as yours, and you carry it into your children, and it goes into the next generation, into the next. I have my siblings who speak the same words, and they have children, and now their children are speaking the same words. Now me, I've been known as the black sheep of the family and the oddball, because my beliefs or my way of acting has always been completely different. If I see you walking straight, well then I'm gonna walk crooked. If I see you,
You've always done the opposite.
yeah,
You didn't want to be
different.
like like them or
So,
going through what they're going through.
I heard negativity, but I instilled positivity in my family, in my children, and my children don't talk about negativity. My children don't talk about, oh my gosh, I got bad luck on me all the time. This is all doom and gloom, and you don't hear my children saying this. And now I have grandchildren, so my daughter is raising her 3 children with the same values that I've instilled in her, with just positivity. And she tells me, you put positivity, you've raised us with positivity. I refuse to have my children not grow up the same way.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that the family curse, whether it's something that was intentionally, magically instilled, when you put something with intention, anyone who knows the power of intention, you know that when that's there, and then you grow up with talking about that to your family and explaining that family takes that and then carries it on, and it goes on that way.
Yeah.
But if you plan on cutting it off, like I was like, I'm not taking this on. My door is shut to this crap.
Mhm.
I am not, and being a youngster, and I was a rebel, I didn't know, I knew I was into the magic and into what's the words? Like into all the realms and
Practice.
yeah, I knew I was all into that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know the officialness of everything. I didn't know the rules. I didn't know. I didn't know. Like I'm my own path. I don't follow a certain way. I'm my own.
Yeah,
But
I think a lot of us now, like, I think a lot of the modern day, the today witches, I think that's how we all
Right.
are.
So like I was experimenting, but I didn't know, like, I need to do this to not have that, or I need to do this to not have that. I didn't know all of those kind of things at that time yet. However, I knew that all this crap that I kept hearing in the family, because it wasn't just like my father. We would have gatherings with my father's family, and I would hear all my uncles. And, I mean, everybody was saying the same stuff. I mean, just talk about a family gathering under a black cloud. That's a lot of people, and my dad's one of 11, so a lot of people. I have like 20 cousins. Can you imagine having all these people talk the same? It's like, God, you just want to go outside and get away from all that. So I was like, no, I'm not, this is not going to be with me. So it's like I sort of broke it. I put an end to it.
Yeah.
So you, the young lady who's inquiring about this question, she's got a choice to stop it.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is that with a generation curse or a family curse, for me, it's something that continues on in every generation. That is a curse. So you can't really call something that just recently happened a generation curse or a family curse, in my opinion, because for me, a generation curse or a family curse happens within time through each generation. You'll notice it's a pattern. So it's a certain pattern that keeps continuing. But I mean, her situation could very well be the start of a generation or a family curse, which it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to do something about it now than what it is, 4 or 5 generations from now, because you got all these, 4 or 5 generations that have passed that have fed into this curse and have given their lives to this curse and the power to this curse to keep it going. And as it goes, it grows. As it goes, it grows. Just like, we do. Just like people, as you go, you grow. So the same goes for this curse, or, the generation or family curses. But it is a pattern. And like I said, right now that she's acknowledging it, she's acknowledging that this could very well start a family curse or a generation curse. So even by acknowledging it, you're already starting to help to break the curse by acknowledging it. Because when people are cursed, they don't realize, they don't even have a name for it. They feel like, like Marianne said, they feel like there's a dark cloud over them. They're just like, they don't expect anything good for themselves. And they don't realize that it is a generation curse. They're not realizing that, hey, what's happening to me was the same thing that happened to my aunt, or it was the same thing that happened to my grandparent, or whatever, because through each generation, you're going to notice it's a pattern. So, if you feel that you are in a family that you guys have a generation curse going on, do your research and just, find out, if this has been a pattern that's been going on for 5 or 6 generations, then there you go. You right there, you have your knowledge, and knowledge is the key. So through knowledge, you can go ahead and you can do something about it. But without you knowing or acknowledging that something exists, it's not gonna end in your generation. Possibly it could end in the next, or 2, 3 generations, if somebody acknowledges in that generation, if somebody acknowledges, hey, my family has been through a generation curse. This is it, and this is how we can fix it. But that being said, is that you can't always save everybody. Sometimes the only person that you can save is yourself sometimes. And you can't feel guilty about that.
Yeah, you definitely can't. To the point, you really can't save anyone except yourself. I mean, you can offer advice.
Unless they want to follow you.
And yes, I mean, if they're willing to help themselves, then they're going to listen, and they're going to be open to what you've got to say and want. They themselves are going to want to change and break that themselves. But it's not you changing them, it's them wanting that change. And then they're going to follow your advice. But we can offer advice to hundreds of people, and the only people who are going to change are the people who really, deep down, don't want to run with that negativity anymore. They really want to stop and change. And that's the only people that are going to change. And that's not because we're changing them. It's because they they want to change.
Mhm.
And the only people we can really focus on, though, is making sure ourselves stay the person that we're trying to help others, that we stay true to ourselves and stay that positive person. That, and then if there's anyone willing to listen, that we're still there to provide them with that positive spirit that they can listen to and fill themselves up with. That's the only thing we can do for them, is be there if they're willing to be open and receive. And there are people that want to do that.
Yeah.
And it sounds like the young lady, for her to ask the question, she wants to stop it too.
Yeah.
And if, like you said, if it hasn't began, then she can stop it right now. She shouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Just let it, just don't even go there. Don't even, I mean, if she can, this happened to her mom, you said?
Yeah, this happened to her
She
mom.
can try to assist her mom and pull her mom out of it. But if she can't, that's her mom's path that she's got to deal with. But she shouldn't carry her mom's path with her.
Mhm.
If this is not something that she's gone through and is not dealing with, then she should just let that go. And
This could just be
leave
a
it off.
lesson. It could just be a lesson. It could be a lesson for the girl to never allow a man to treat her that way.
Oh yeah.
That
should
could
make
be
her
a
stronger.
lesson. Yeah, it could be a strength. It could be, and through any curse, there's a blessing. Whether you want to think so or not, but there usually is always a blessing that comes with a curse. Or comes after a curse, I should say, not with, but after a curse will come a blessing. And that's kind of the way that you have to think about it too. And I think that every family has a curse, because for me, even like diabetes could be a curse. High blood pressure could be a curse. Depression could be a curse. Alcoholism could be a curse. Drug abuse could be a curse. All these things could be curses. So I feel that every family has, something. You just have to find what it is. But once you find what it is, you'll notice that every family has a generation curse. But making it not a part of you, even if it's a medical issue or a health issue that is your generation curse, you, by knowing that and by having that knowledge of this is what the family curse is, I'm not going to get diabetes because I'm going to eat better. I'm going to eat healthier. I'm going to exercise. I'm going to take care of myself. That is you breaking yourself off of the family curse. Because a lot of these, medical things that happen to us happen because we're not eating the way we're supposed to be eating, or we're not taking care of ourselves the way we're supposed to be taking care of ourselves. And that right there is a curse. In my opinion, I don't know what you.
Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, and then, like Nina said, I mean, in my family, just knowing my grandparents and my father's siblings, they all have health issues, and they all have the same health issues. And my sisters have it, and like one of the number ones is high blood pressure, and then I ended up getting it, which I don't think it was so much like my eating habits, but I went to college online, and that's when my blood pressure went up. So I think it was
Like
more
stress. Yeah.
And I'm
But
happy
stress
to say,
could be
though,
the generation curse.
yeah.
You could
well,
come from.
the stress probably is because
Yeah.
of the doom and gloom, and oh my,
Yeah, the stress,
the
yeah.
curse is probably their stress.
Yeah.
But of course, I don't have high blood pressure anymore.
That's good.
It's gone.
That's good.
I don't have any of the health issues, and diabetes is second, and I don't have it either. And I try to. Well, I'm not that kind of a. I watch what I do, I guess, more so than the rest of the family.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you like she said, if it's a health situation and you're aware of it, of other people having these medical issues, then you have the heads up of like, wow, this is in my family. this could be, I mean, like my children, let's say, both sides of the family have diabetes, and we're talking out of control diabetes. So my children are really capable of getting diabetes if they don't watch what they're doing and eating, and they're aware of that. So my daughters make sure that they are aware of what they're consuming, not to become a statistic of diabetes, especially since it's on both sides. So there's that having that knowledge, you have the control of not letting that become a diabetes curse, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
You know, whatever these issues are that are not good, they can be curses. And if you have the heads up on them, then you can break them and eliminate them, and not have to live with them in your head in any way to be like, oh, I got this, I got that, no, it's gone. You're free of it. Just, you know what you got to do, and
Strengthen yourself
Yeah.
on that. Like, strengthen yourself. Knowing that this is a battle that you have to fight. Just like a warrior. You have to strengthen yourself. You have to shield yourself. You have to protect yourself. You have to, do constant cleansings on yourself. Because when you're around these people, like your family members who are cursed and who don't want to do anything about it, they'll have a way of somehow affecting you with what it is that they're going through what they tell you, what they talk about. They can affect you because you still have that emotional connection, because that is your family member and you do love that person and you feel for that person. But you also have to remember that if they're not trying to eat better or be healthier or change certain things about themselves to benefit themselves in the long run, they don't want to do it, they say they can't, then you can't and you shouldn't feel bad for what it is that they're going through if they're doing it to themselves. And with in my family, it's kind of something that I go through, because for the longest time I had blamed myself for certain things. I'm not going to get too deep into my situations or what I had came from, but I had blamed myself as a little kid, like to where I suffered from depression as a child, because I was thinking if I wasn't here, this wouldn't happen. This wouldn't be like this. And that's like, as a kid, I'm not saying like a teenager, I'm talking about like 6, 7, 8 years old, thinking this way. It's very messed up. You're gonna go through a lot, but I was a warrior. I shielded myself, I protected myself, I grew, I strengthened myself, and I fought that battle. And now I'm here where I'm at, and I'm able to talk to other people about what it was that I went through, not because I read it in a book, not because I've seen it in TV shows, because I lived that life. So that's why I can talk about it, and I can talk about it from my experience of what I had gone through. And if that helps anybody else out there that might be going through the same things, or if your kids are going through something like that, at least I was able to give some type of, like knowing that if I can make it, you can make it.
That's really the absolute truth of it, and probably a real grace at it, because probably why we connected so well, because we've had very similar lifestyles, being not even knowing each other yet, being connected with the soul, basically, which is where the soul sisters come from. We found each other a year ago, and connected as if we've known each other forever.
And like, I've told her things that I've never told other people about. Like, and it's like our roles change all the time. Like, sometimes Marianne will be like my sister. Sometimes she'll play the mother role. Sometimes,
And then she's the wise one.
I'm the wise one, or
and I'm the okay.
Or her aunt's capsule. Like, her aunts used me to talk to her. So I mean, our roles change all the time, and I love it because I'm experiencing all these things in such a short amount of time with somebody that I feel like I've known forever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Those experiences are, when you've gone through experiences like that, where it's not just something you read about or you hear from somebody else, but you've actually lived them, and and you didn't read them to get through them, but you've lived them to pull yourself through them, to be that warrior that Nina talks about, which we've both been. And not just one time. We've gone through many eras of lives that we have had to be warriors. Those are life lessons. Those are lessons that make you that really powerful goddesses that we are, basically.
And you know, I think that our magic helped us ever since we were little kids. To like, I think had we not have known magic for as long as we have since we were children, I don't know if we would be as strong as we are today. Like, with what we've gone through, we probably would have been in a nut house.
Yeah. Well,
We probably would have been in like some straight jackets.
yeah. Well, this is where she's the wise one. Because it's like I was playing around but didn't know what I was playing with a lot of the times. Like I knew this stuff. I know this stuff. I love this stuff, but what am I doing? Is where I was at that time, where you were more knowledgeable of it.
Well, that was my thing, is that I had seen, like, I don't know, like, my imagination, I had always had an imagination when I was a child, and now that I think about it, that wasn't my imagination, that was me being spiritually connected, you know, to the divine. Like, that's what it was, is that, like, my real world was, like, messed up. My real world was crazy. My real world, like, I escaped that by going into my magical world, and by like, as a child, I mean, I didn't know that I didn't know to call myself a witch because I was a little kid, you know, but I would watch movies like Snow White, things like that. I would watch, you know, this witch making stuff, and you know, and I was just, when I would go outside, I would just get lost in my magical world. Like, that's just, I escaped. And if I couldn't be outside, I would be outside all day until nighttime. And then that's when I would come in the house. But if I wasn't allowed to go outside for a day, I was depressed because I couldn't escape. I couldn't run outside to my magical world and forget about what was really going on and what was really happening around me. You know, had I not had that, my magic, like, I don't even know what would have happened, because that's the only thing that really kept me from, you know, being like, just being
Sane.
Yeah, being sane, you know, not doing anything to myself or anything like that was my magic. Like, that it strengthened me in a way that, you know, I don't even know. Like, that's why when I have kids, my kids are going to grow up knowing magic. And
Yeah, well, for me, like I said, this is where you're the wise one, and me, I don't even know a better word to say that I was pretty stupid. I was like, oh, I love this.